Okay, there's 4.5 hours left, but you can see that is a considerably bigger piece. So here was my footprint checker right here. Yeah. Okay, real quick, pretend that that is a heat certain and a screw. See how that's all supported? Now that lines up. Now this isn't my good panel. I left that out in the shop. But you can see, and I thought I was going to be able to snap some wings in. No, not enough room. It's not perfect. I've got a little bit of work to do, and unfortunately I got to cut this bracket again because I got a way to make it stronger. But that's what the buttons look like. Okay, so you can see I've already got that one installed from the other day. This should be almost warm enough. So you see they just kind of sit in there a little bit. I can feel the heat starting, and then you'll see it just suddenly gets hot and just slowly pushes its way in. The idea here is to let it just follow the hole that we cast in. Let the heat kind of rise. See, it's starting to sink. And then suddenly it'll be just hot enough. Let it follow everything. And then I'm just going to make sure I'm happy with this one. Alright. Yeah. Everybody looks pretty good now. And she is glued up. We will let her sit. I used the actual panel to line everything up. And now we just let that cure. Well, it's a weird day, but I did get some cutting done today. And I don't know if it really shows up how awesome this is going to look. This one isn't glued yet. I haven't figured out what I'm going to use. But that is a fully built panel. And I should have the screws in the next day or two. Still got to work out the latch a little bit. And I'm still working on the dividers. But yeah, there's that. I think it came out pretty freaking sharp. So hopefully you guys like that. Okay, I don't know if this is the intro or if this is just a continuation because I do have some earlier bits, but I just showed them how this is all working. And we do have our lock retainer, and we think we have a solution for our walls now. So we discussed that. I think I talked in a previous one that I just didn't like what was happening. So I think we've got a solution there. I now know exactly how they want it wired. So this is happening this week. I'm definitely going to be working on that and try to get that in before next weekend. And yeah, I don't know what we're working on today, but I finally got the feedback I need. We will finish this. It's going to be awesome.
Here, did you show it this way too?
I don't remember if that's in the video.
Look at that.
But look at how nice that's going to look. The best part is how sturdy this is. I mean, yeah, nothing moves. That is awesome. Okay, so what we're looking at right now, he bought a bunch of these little tabs like GM uses. I think Ford does it too, and I know that Dodge also does it for multiple cup sizes. You know, so you can have different cups. So before we do it on our real ones, he's got these other ones, and I don't have them perfectly located. I do in the height, but not in the square. I'll make a jig on the out of draft board or something to get them exactly perfect. But what we're thinking, looking at the way these slots are, is that we can just take the Dremel, kind of and square it up, pop one in. Let's see. Okay, we've done two already. This is pretty easy. I'm going to hand this over to my cameraman, and I'll show you. So we marked where we're going to do it. So we get there, and then I need it double wide. And then it doesn't really fit in there, but it still deburrs it. I've been going down the channel with the burr, because you'd be dumbfounded how sharp this is. And then careful on the inside, you don't want to scratch up the finish. That knocks those little corners out. And then just pull the little guy in. And see, so we got 3. Now I didn't perfectly equidistance this one because this one's a demonstrator. I'm going to make a jig for the real ones just to make sure that those slots are exactly perfect. But this is doing a pretty good job. So we're pretty happy with where we're at. Okay. Dog's in the way as always. Let's not step on him too much. So we've just got this sitting here so that we can pretend that's our cup holder. And look, it doesn't fall over. But what happens, oh yeah, let's pretend that's a cup holder and it's held down. Let's put her giant cup in. It also doesn't fall over. Might be why the manufacturers do that. Can't believe all the trouble they're giving us. So yeah, Kevin doesn't do gravity very well. But yeah, so we've got that figured out, how all that's going to go. I think everything to do with the console is now sorted, and I have permissions to do what we're doing. So now I've got to get that guy mounted and deal with how all of this gets interfaced. Run the cables for Android Auto and everything, but I think we've got this now. And on Thursday, I talked to my youngest and did this. That was 2.5 hours right there. That all had to come out, and it wasn't very fun. But, you know, it now says air conditioning. Okay, we are going to attempt to test out the stereo stuff today. That is where we're at. Obviously, we can't test it very loud or anything because we're only going to be able to source so much. We're not sourcing 60 amps. But I've got to figure out, I'm going to need power, I'm going to need ground, and I'm going to need the clock. So I just got to figure out what things I've got to get power to, run those out there, and then obviously we've got to plug the head unit in and deal with all that. But yeah, this should be pretty interesting.
Look what I just found.
Okay, and in an unusual twist of events, they went to pull the rear seat belts, and boy, those bolts don't want to come out. So we're like, let's not force them. Let's go take a look and see what's going on. And it's probably good that we did, because they're looking a little crusty. So they're gonna hose those down. Okay, I just made some quick temporary test cables because we're trying to test the radio amongst everything else going on. Also, it's gorgeous today. It's like 40. Everything should start melting a little bit. The icicles of doom have been falling, so that's all coming down. Let's see what the yokels are up to in here. Oh, they're all just in here talking about us. But look at that. Here I am also at the same time printing some labels for my wife's garden. She's got stuff growing. So I heard we're getting ready to see if this is going to work. ShopDog says for better or for worse, we think we're getting really close to being ready to do this test. So he's got a screen. He's plugging some stuff in so that we're going to have access to something. He's got some temporary speakers there, some temporary speakers back there. We're going to remember not to turn things up too loud because we're only going to have so much power. I've got clock and radio fuses run out the door here to the amplifier feed. So I'm getting ready to take our jump pack here and go for it. Now it's not fully charged, but it's pretty close. All right, for better or for worse, I'm about to push some buttons and let's see what happens. So hopefully we don't blow anything up. So first we turn on the box, then you push the override because it says, hey, there's no battery. Okay, so in theory the radio should want to turn on.
Hey, it turned on.
The radio is turning on. Hey, that's better than theory. Okay, so that's a start. No fire yet, that's good.
English.
Would you like a box to set that on?
Yeah, if you got one.
Yeah, I'll get him a box and he'll get that kind of preset real quick.
See what Android Auto has to say. Zip, zip.
I'm just going to say to put it in park.
You just put your stop the car and check. Okay, car stopped. Check your Android Auto. Oh, unlock to continue. Okay.
Yeah, normally you have to tell it on your phone. You have to open your phone.
Lock? Oh.
No, open the phone.
I pressed the button. Oh, next. Okay. It said...
When's the last time you set a phone up? Been a while, huh?
Haven't in a while. There we go.
Okay, so I'm sure we're learning something right now.
That looks like Android Auto.
Oh my God, we got Android Auto in a 66 Pontiac.
Alright, so...
Hey, play something. There's noises. There's noises, and I don't want a copyright strike, so you guys are going away. Now he is getting ready to start doing some balance testing, and we'll see if the subwoofer is actually working. But, yeah, so far this has been pretty painless. And we got that all sorted out. I wish you guys could hear it, but I don't want copyright issues. We did have a switch misset on one of the amplifiers, and now we're very happy. So this is looking like it's going to work out pretty slick. Okay, these guys are in here playing seatbelt games a little bit, and they're still not perfectly happy with this solution, so they're still looking. But, you know, if we have to, it'll work for now. It's like a McLaren F1, we now have a center seat. Or it was in his way and he's moving stuff because he's getting ready to do the seatbelt on this side as well. Okay, well, I ran out of heat shrink tape, so I've got some more on order, but this is what we're doing so that she knows what's going on, because the ones she started a couple weeks ago, you can see they're getting really hard to read and a little moldy. So, but yeah, nice, I think those are, look at those poblanos, they're so big. When you're just trying to clean goop off a thread, this is a viable method. Just chuck your die, grab a drill, leave it on a setting where it will, you know, if you come all the way down, see, it'll clutch out. Do that a couple times, wire wheel the tips to clean them up, save you a ton of time. Welting just keeps breaking on them, so he is building up a quick and simple way of making it last until it can go to the interior guy with a little zip tape. ShopDog says maybe, just maybe, it's time for us to do a closeout on what may be a convoluted several day video. Whoop, I may step on ShopDog, who's behind me. And you know, at this point, I don't know that we're going to do anything else that's going to show up in video. I know we've got some things to clean up. So, you know, we did all that testing on the radio, which really did work nicely. We did have a switch on an amplifier we had to change, but let's face it, if that's the only problem you got, that's not that bad. It sounded good. We closed up the tailgate and closed the windows and got in the car, and it sounded really nice. So, you know, and that was using Android Auto, which luckily I had already wired a parking brake because you can't set up Android Auto without it. But yeah, everything worked. So now we've got everything coiled up and put away out of our way. And this week I will finish the stuff for the console, or that's the hope. And next Sunday, I think the console's going in for the very last time. Woo! So ShopDog says, what do we say?
Thanks for watching.